Greetings everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Cassandra and you're watching Spotless Mind Tarot. In this series of videos we are going to take a look into what is coming your way for the end of 2023. You can watch this video anytime from the release date to the very end of the year. There will be a total of 12 videos, one for each zodiac sign. I suggest that you watch for your rising, sun, and moon sign. Keep in mind that the messages I receive in these readings are general, so apply them accordingly to your life. All of my readings are audio recorded, and photos of the spread will appear on the screen as we progress through the reading. The format for the readings will go as follows. I will start each reading by taking a look at the current energies that you may be experiencing at the time you are watching this video. Next, I'll take a look at what is coming your way for the end of the year and what you could expect to occur during these last few months. After that, we'll get some advice from your spirit guides and see what they would like for you to know going into 2024. Then I'll pull an oracle card that will tie together the reading for you. The oracle will basically highlight the overall outcome of the year. Thank you for watching, and please hit the subscribe button, like, and share this video. Blessings, Gemini, and welcome to your year-end tarot reading. So we're going to take a look at what you could expect to come up here at the end of the year. And it doesn't matter what time you click on this video and watch it, as long as you're still in 2023, then this video is good for you. Today I am using the Cosmic Tarot. This reading is good for Gemini, rising, sun, or moon. I suggest you watch for all three placements to get the most out of these readings. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle, and we're going to take a look at the current energies first. And this will relate to the time you are watching this video. And this will just give me an idea of what you're currently going through and basically what Spirit wants me to bring up in this reading and for you to focus on at this time. Okay, so we got the 8 of Swords, Princess of Swords, and 7 of Cups. So I feel currently at this time, I'm getting that you may be feeling left out and secluded. This could be with another person. So it doesn't have to, with a partner, I should say. So it doesn't have to be romantic, but it's just somebody close to you, somebody that you share a partnership or a relationship with. I feel like you're being, like you feel really left out. You feel like maybe they're keeping secrets or there's something they're not telling you. And I feel that whatever it is, it's very emotional and it could be really personal. So it may not have anything to do with you, and it's something they're trying to deal with on their own. They could also be feeling like a lot of shame. And so maybe that's why they don't want to bring it up or talk about it. But at the same time, I feel like it's like they have a cloud over them. And it's kind of just like when you're near them and next to them, you could just like feel that, like you feel something is off. And so and I don't think they realize that they're doing this, that they're kind of like giving off that energy of they're just in a very I wouldn't say they're like in a dark place, but it's a cloudy place. Like they're just kind of in a little rut right now. And so I feel that it is creating distance between you two. And I feel if anything, you may be deciding to detach a bit from this person. Because of, it's like they have I'm looking at the 8 of Swords, and there's this man that has his back to this woman. And so I feel you're in the position of the woman on the card, and you're kind of just moving. I feel like you're moving into the Princess of Swords, and the Princess of Swords is also the Page of Swords. And so I feel like there's this detachment and this moving away from them, but it's not like in a way where you're like avoiding them. I don't see you like not talking to them, because again, like this is a partner. This is someone very close to you. And so whether you may not have a choice but to be with this person, so let's say like it's a coworker, but at the same time, like it's not like you don't want to be. It's just like they're currently going through something, and it's gotten to the point where you're just like, okay, well, I'm gonna put my back to this as well. But at the same time, like I don't see it as like a cold-hearted thing. Like you're not being deceitful about it or anything. Like it's almost like you're just, now I'm gonna mind my own business. What can you really do here? And so you're moving into this Princess of Swords energy. And this person is more, this energy or in this archetype is more, you know, there's that detachment, but it's more like an open-mindedness. So what I'm trying to say is like you're starting to look off in a different direction now. And the situation that I'm talking about, it doesn't necessarily have to be exactly what I'm saying. So like apply it to how it resonates for you. But either way, you're changing direction. You're looking the other way is what I'm getting. Like you're focusing on other things right now. Now I'm also getting, for some of you, there was a recent breakup. And it's got you pretty like, I still feel you're in this Princess of Swords energy. So no matter what, you're in this Princess of Swords energy to where you're like, you're more observant, you're more careful, you're more analytical about things. You're not letting little things get to you. You're kind of just, you know, you're brushing things off. You're being more observant than anything. And so the Seven of Cups comes up, and it's like, I feel for those of you who are single or you're thinking about ending a relationship. You know, again, it doesn't have to be romantic. So maybe you're looking forward to ending a partnership of some kind. Either way, it's like, you know, there's that saying, there's plenty of fish in the sea, but you're really not liking what you're seeing. I don't know, like the Seven of Cups is here, and it's like you're turning your back on something, and you're looking in a new direction, and you're not really liking what you're seeing. The Seven of Cups comes with options. And in this deck, it's quite different than, you know, the traditional meaning of the Seven of Cups. This is showing more despair, more confusion, more illusion as well. Like, it's like you're tricking yourself. But at the same time, I feel like you're looking off in a new direction, and it's like you really don't like what's out there. So if you're single, or if you're in a relationship and maybe there's a separation of some kind, and you're out in the world and you're looking, or you're interested, or even if there was never like a breakup, you've been single for some time now and you're looking to date or whatever, or you are dating, either way, like you're not satisfied with what you're seeing and what you're receiving. Like, you don't like what's being presented. You don't like any of these options at all, because the Seven of Cups comes with options. It's things being presented to you, choices you have to make, and you don't want any of them. And so this can apply to so many things in life. So whatever it is that you feel this resonates for, that's probably what it's for. So whatever you're seeing, you're not satisfied. This message I'm also getting something like you're shopping for homes. That's very specific. You don't like what you see. You don't like what's on the market. There's something about a market here. Maybe somebody's trying to get a loan or something. Whatever it is, like, you just don't like what's being offered. You're not happy with it. You're completely unsatisfied with life right now. That's what I'm getting. Like, and I don't mean to laugh. you're kind of just sick of it all. There could also just be a lot of like disappointment based on expectations. So for a lot of you, I feel like there's something that's ended and you feel like you're getting this fresh start now. You're like, okay, this ended. I can, go off into the world and do whatever the heck I want now. And then you go out there and you're just like, what the hell is happening? Like, what the hell is going on here? Like, this isn't what I signed up for. This is not what I imagined for myself. Maybe some of you moved, so was picking up on house shopping and markets and things like that. So maybe you did move to like a new city or just like a new place, and you thought it was going to be great. Maybe you're given all these promises and then like you get there and it doesn't check out. And so I think that's where the expectations were coming from, because you were given false promises. You were given, at the time you didn't know that, right? But like you were given the Seven of Cups of like illusion. You were given the I don't know, I'm having a hard time finding the words. Basically they gave you the sales pitch. They just gave you, they sold you bells and whistles and you got, I don't know, like you got nothing out of it kind of ordeal. And so with that, I feel that you still return back to this Princess of Swords energy. You still return back to that, okay, I need to make change. And that's another big thing about the Princess of Swords. It's all about making change. And it starts with your perceptions and your logic and your way of thinking. And so everything I just said, you keep coming back to yourself and asking yourself things. And so there is this sense of emotional detachment. You're looking to ground yourself a lot more these days as well, because there's just been so much disappointment happening lately. So many like people aren't showing up. Promises aren't being kept. And I feel like the veil has lifted on so many areas of your life, especially wherever Gemini is in your birth chart, whatever house it is. I feel like a veil has been lifted. I feel it largely has to do with the eclipses. And you're seeing something for what it is. I also feel like you guys are recognizing a pattern, because I do feel like there is a cycle happening and you're recognizing patterns. And so it's making you draw back and detach and pull back and get out of your feelings. I feel like Geminis in general don't really have too much of a problem of doing something that's repetitive. I feel like that's one of their best traits, is being able to be repetitive in what they do, in the sense that they can keep up with something. So I know like the Geminis, they like to tell stories, and a lot of times they will tell you the same story, or they'll just repeat the same story to people over and over again, and they'll give it the same energy every time. So if it's like a hilarious story, like they'll tell it like that every single time. And so like I feel like now though there's something about this pattern and this cycle and this repetitiveness, like where you are just sick of it, to where it is the Seven of Cups energy. It's like, this is all bullshit. This is all like, none of this is even real, right? Or this isn't exactly what I wanted. And with these eclipses too, it could be changing a lot for you, in the sense that like, I feel like for a lot of people, especially because within the North Node of Aries, which is all about the self, and it's the I am, it's this is me, take it or leave it kind of energy. And this is where we're heading. We're all being called to really step into our true selves and our true power and all that good stuff. And I feel like there's been things happening in your life, things that you've been doing in your life that either they did bring you happiness and now they no longer do. Like maybe it was working out for you, but now you've had a change of heart, or you thought this was what you wanted, or you were just going along with it because everyone else was, that sort of thing. And now you're just like, actually, I don't, like, I'm out, I don't see it like you're quitting, but you're just like, I'm out, like, I'm done. I'm not doing this again. We're not going there again. Like, this isn't cool. This isn't fun. This isn't what I wanted. that kind of energy. Again, like, this is just one aspect of what you're going through, right? And, this is just what the reading wants me to bring up. It's not to say that, like, things aren't going great or whatever the case, but there's something in your life. Again, I do feel it has a lot to do with partnerships, relationships. It's definitely with other people. There's like a bad deal going on right now, or just this isn't what you signed up for. You're seeing it before it happens. Like, you're seeing the red flags before they happen, and you don't want to know. I always relate the Seven of Cups to, like, what are those called? Like, game shows where it's like, you got to guess what's behind door number 1, or you got to pick what's behind door number 3, right? Like, that's what the Seven of Cups is like. You got to, like, pick your door, and, like, you don't know what you're going to get behind it, because this is Scorpio energy, and, like, you just don't like any of the options. You're just like, no, I don't want to open any of these doors. None of these sound fulfilling. And so I think that's great. I know it sounds kind of gloomy and negative, or kind of like down bad energy, but no, I feel like this is just you with stronger boundaries. It's almost like you're just preventing a fire before it happens. And like, I feel like that's how you're seeing it. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's jump into what you could expect then from this. And it'll likely relate to the current energies. Okay, so we have Temperance, the Three of Pentacles, the Fool, and Five of Wands. And so with Temperance, I could see a lot of balance coming through for you. Because you are pulling yourself away from a person or a situation and moving out of a cycle that you don't want to be a part of anymore, you're likely going to put that focus more towards self-improvement, or your work, your career, your vocation. I think just something that is going to bring you fulfillment. It could even be your education. And again, it could be a self-improvement. It could be self-care. Something, like fixing your diet. Something that's like, is going to yield. You can expect, how do I say it? Like, you could expect to see the results. Like, it's a no-fail. Like, working a job, like, you're going to get paid, right? So, like, you're churning towards something is going to give you exactly what you work for, give you exactly what you expect to happen. And with the Temperance here, I like to see it because I feel like it is confirmation of closing out a cycle. It does represent merging, like, things together. So it could represent, like, merging cycles together. It is about the past and the future and bringing it now to the present moment. But either way, like, I just get this strong overall sense of there's going to be balance restored, and it's going to quickly pull you out of anything that is making you feel like you're being held back. Now I'm thinking about that whole saying, the grass is greener on the other side, and then the counter to that is the grass is greener where you water it. And so that's kind of like what I'm getting. I'm getting like both. Like, you're going to the other side, and you're going to maintain it, right? Like, the grass is greener on the other side, and you go there and you're going to improve it. So there could be home improvement. There's definitely self-improvement overall. So even if it isn't like something like self-care or anything, whatever you're turning your focus towards, and whatever it is that you can rely on, it's to improve yourself and to better yourself and to provide more for yourself. I'm getting like, okay, so like the Three of Pentacles usually suggests teamwork and help and from others. And I'm like trying to see that, and I don't see that. I feel like this is like you're like all three characters on this card. You're playing all three roles. I'm getting something like keep up, It's like if someone can't keep up, you're just gonna do their job for them because you got somewhere to go. But it's like you're not doing their job per se. Like you're not it's like get in or get out. It's like that keep up energy is what I'm getting. Like if you're not with, and it's, I don't want to say this either, but I was about to say it. If you're not with me, you're against me. It's basically like if you don't want to help me, then why are you here? If you don't want to pit in, then why are you here? If you don't want to do your share, I'm just gonna do it because I got things to do. I got places to be. I also feel like maybe you feel like you don't have time for any monkeying around. So yeah, I hope this makes sense because I am channeling, and then I start saying these words and it's like I don't know where this stuff comes from, right? It just comes to me. And I'm just getting like I'm getting a lot of like confusion and conflicting energies overall. So things can be pretty chaotic. I mean, we do have the Five of Wands out. So the end of the year, although I feel like balance is going to be restored, it might be you who has to do the restoring because there's just like a lot happening. There's a lot of opposition. There's a lot, like the odds are against you. So the Fool is out too, and that suggests that there's a need to just kind of like almost do something blindly. You know, the Fool is all about taking that first step and trusting. You don't know what's going to happen. It's the beginning of the tarot, and it's the beginning of the journey of the Fool. And so this suggests too that there's going to be a brand new path being presented for you. You're going to embark on a new journey, and you don't know where the heck it's going to take you, but you have to trust in this. So at the same time, like you have to trust that whatever comes up, whatever is going on, because I'm feeling so much confusion, it's like you have to trust that this is the right thing, that this will all make sense one day. So you may be really conflicted here at the end of the month or at the end of the year. And, you know, you may even find yourself in competition or challenges, like other people are going to challenge you. So if you are going to like completely take on a new path, a new life, completely start something brand new, there's going to be people who are going to challenge that. There's going to be people who are pretty upset about it. So I feel that you are going to be moving away from people, or you're going to like lose people in the process of this. And it could be anybody. It could be friends. It could be colleagues. It could be a relationship, like a romantic relationship. It could be anything. But either way, it's like they're not happy with the decision you're making here at the end of the year. And it's going to vary for every person. So I don't know exactly what this is. You know, a couple people at least are going to be watching this. And so you have to apply it accordingly. So I don't know what it is exactly that they're upset about, but they feel threatened, even if it has nothing to do with them. But it's the whole thing of like when you do upgrade your life, when you upgrade spiritually, when you upgrade your values, when you create stronger boundaries, it's sometimes people perceive it as a threat because you're limiting access to them from you, like you're limiting access to you, and it makes them uncomfortable. So these people likely were using you, or they weren't. If they're not using you, they're just not comfortable with themselves, with their own boundaries, with their own limits. Because I feel like you do have like this sense of almost like I don't give a fuck energy, but it's not towards anybody in particular. Like it might be, especially if like it is like a relationship and you're kind of like fed up with them or whatever. But overall, it's like you don't give a fuck in the sense that like this has nothing to do with you. Like, and there's no need for you to take it personally. Like, this is for me. Like, I'm still cool with you. So I don't know what your problem is. So you gotta just let bygones be bygones. You gotta let these people fall away if that's the case. again, like I feel a strong sense of time. Like you don't have time. I don't see a rush in anything. We do have the Three of Pentacles, so this is like about a slow progress. It is about building something from the ground up. At the same time, like I don't see you slowing down per se. It's like there's going to be this steady progress of moving forward and progressing forward. And that's why there's no time, because it's like you don't have time to sit around. You don't have time to wait on people. So that's why I also feel like, you know, you're going to be doing other people's jobs for them. And again, it doesn't have to be like their actual job. It's just like if they're supposed to be a part of your journey and they don't want to take part, you're just going to fill that space for them. And it's going to push them out. And so that can be why the Five of Wands is out, because it's like, they're like, wait a minute, like, what about me? But then it's like, well, what about you? You didn't contribute anything. So why should you be here? So that's really, really interesting. And again, I feel like with the Princess of Swords and even the Temperance, there's just like this contentment. Like it's like unbothered. You know, I feel like you're don't get me wrong, like I feel like you're completely bothered. That's why you're doing all this. But at the same time, it's like you're so unbothered by things. Like you're so like minding your own business. I'm only going to give my energy to what is necessary at this time. And it's interesting because on the Temperance card, it's like she's got her eyes closed and she's looking the other way as she's pouring these 2 cups into the lake or the pond. And it's also giving me the Fool vibe. It's like, because on the original Fool card, on the Rider Waite, the Fool is looking up behind him. He's not looking where he's going. And it's that whole blind trust and trusting that you're on the right path and you're going to get to your destination. And so I do feel like that's going to be a theme for you at the end of the year. It's like, you don't really know what you're doing, but you know this is the right thing to do. Or you don't know what the outcome's going to be. But at the same time, it's like, you know, you're going to get an outcome. You know, like, it's like working out and dieting. Like, you know, you're going to lose weight and get fit or healthy if you are just eating healthy alone. Like, if you eat healthy alone, like, you know, you're going to get healthy, right? It's just like a no-brainer. But at the same time, like, you don't know how that's going to look. You don't know what that healthy is going to feel like per se. Maybe you do if you've been there before, right? But just as an example, like, you know what it's going to do. You know working out's going to help you lose weight, but you don't know exactly what it's going to look like on you. I guess the advice we can get from this is the Fool energy, is to just keep doing what you're doing, regardless of any challenges or conflict from other people, regardless what anyone thinks, regardless of your circumstances. There's something happening here. There's something you're building here. And it's a good investment. It's a good project. It's a good job. If this is a relationship you're working on, this is a good relationship. So it could even be the relationship with the Eight of Swords. Because again, I feel like somebody's like turning their back on their partner or a friend or a family member because they're kind of just like in a gloomy place, and maybe you've done all you could, or maybe they just need time to figure it out. Like, you know, sometimes people just, you know, need to figure things out on their own. And maybe at first you kind of took it personally, but maybe you're just like, okay, well, I really shouldn't. I should just use this time to focus on myself. And I feel for some of you, if this is a relationship, if that resonates, at the end of the year, I feel like either they'll come around back to you, like they'll be able to pull themselves out of whatever they're going through, or just the sense of you like working on yourself and improving yourself will ultimately improve the environment around you. Because again, like this other person has a dark cloud over them, like they're standing in their own puddle. And I kind of feel like it's not like they're doing it on purpose. And it's not like in a sense, they're doing it to themselves. But at the same time, it's like sometimes you just can't help it. You know, it's like depression. Like sometimes you just can't help but be depressed. I know it's like weird to say, but you know, sometimes you have to go through that because there's something wrong, and only you can really fix it. You know, you can get all the advice and therapy you want, all the help you want, but it's still up to you to do something about it. And sometimes when people see others that they're close with focusing on themselves and like winning for themselves, it can inspire them. So I feel like if you are in a relationship, a partnership like this, sometime later, this at the end of the year, they're gonna come back around because they're gonna see you thriving, and you know, you're gonna have to be you know, you have to give discernment and make sure, ask yourself and observe, like, are they doing this as like a manipulative thing? Like, is there something, like, are they codependent, you know? And so they want to come back and hold on because, you know, me doing better is a threat to them because they're doing better without me, or you're doing better without them, you know? So you want to, like, you know, observe that and make sure that's not the case. But at the same time, like, I feel like, I mean, their actions will prove, if anything, like, they could see, they can be inspired by you and then start doing better for themselves, or, you know, whatever it is that they're going through, like, it could help them get out of it and come back around and join you here with the Three of Pentacles. Because I feel like whatever the Three of Pentacles is, in the sense of like teamwork and all that, like, people, the right people will come back around, the wrong people are gonna step out. Okay, so that's basically what I'm getting. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next part of this reading. And so with all of this said, I'm gonna ask your spirit guides what advice they have for you. So let me go ahead and shuffle, and then we'll see what we get. Okay, so for advice from your spirit guides, we got the Princess of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles. So with the Princess of Cups, I feel like even though you are like detaching and grounding and getting out of your emotions, your guides still want you to be very mindful of your emotions and to be open about your emotions. They don't want you to deny yourself and to deny what you feel, and or even deny what other people are feeling. It's all about mindfulness here with the princesses. At least for me, that's what I'm getting. Like, it's all about being observant. It's, you know, it's young energy. You know, these are the pages. And it's all about, you know, there's a lot of observation with them because they're learning, because they're students. And so it's almost like you're a student to your own heart and your own mind. There's something you can learn about the way you, I guess, the way you handle your own thinking, your own thought processes, and your own ways of coping. They also want you to like tap in more to your playful side and to not take it too seriously. You know, it's circumstantial. If you're in a serious situation, then by all means treat it the way it needs to be treated. But at the same time, like, they still want you to still remain neutral in the sense that, like, you don't go to any extremes. And the Temperance definitely wants that too, because, you know, there's a strong need for balance here. There's a strong need for you to just stay rooted and grounded, to stay neutral, but at the same time to not deny anything. So if you have strong, heavy feelings, then you have strong, heavy feelings. There's just, that's all there is to it, right? But it's not about dwelling in that. It's not about, you know, woe is me. And it's not about, you know, my feelings are so strong. Look at them. They matter. I mean, because they do, right? But I'm just saying in the sense, it's like your guides just want you to, like, don't you just gotta remain neutral. Okay, it's like, don't be a victim, but also don't, you know, don't be the one that's so focused on themselves that they're not thinking about other people. They also want you to take things one step at a time, not to rush. You know, you could only do so much for something, for somebody, even for yourself. Give yourself time. You have plenty of time. Like, and time keeps coming up in this reading. It's like, so for those of you who are really worried about time and worried about deadlines and getting things done, Spirit wants you to just chill out, because like, you have temperance here. You have all the time in the world, but it is about time management, because temperance is about managing. And in this case, we're dealing with time management. So you do want to pace yourself. You do want to stay steady at a steady pace, but at a pace that's comfortable for you. Don't worry about going too fast. Don't worry if you're going too slow. I mean, there's going to be off days. There's going to be on days. There's going to be days where it's just, you're just going through it. You don't even know. You don't even realize like what day it is or what time it is. Like, you're living your life. So with the Seven of Pentacles, it's, you never want to rush with this one. You can't, you know, it's like tending to your garden. You can provide the environment for your garden, but you can't make your garden grow any faster. I mean, you can do things to help speed up its growth, but it's still up to the plant to grow, right? And so that has a lot to do with things that are external and outside of you. So it is about giving up control about what's outside of you. There could also be a warning to investments and business and working too hard and not seeing the results. I still feel there's going to be disappointment coming up here at the end of the year with something. It could be related to everything I've said or related to the current energies, like the disappointment you feel now. It could come up again. I don't think it's part of that same cycle and that pattern that you're actively trying to get out of, or will be actively trying to get out of, or saying no to, but you know, it's just a fact of life. It's just, and these disappointments are so external. And then here with the Princess of Cups, it's like, you gotta, she's such a mood too. Like, she's such a vibe. You know, she's just like, she knows she's all that. She knows she's the shit. Every time I pull this card, it's like she's always looking like, what are you going to do about it? You know, like, make your move. It's almost like a chess game. Like, what's your move going to be? She's waiting to see the reaction of somebody else. And again, you know, these princesses are all about observing. But the Princess of Cups has a lot to do with feelings. And then the Princess of Swords, it's all about the intellect and wisdom and knowledge. And the Cups, it's feelings, it's emotions, it's creativity, it's self-expression. So when these Seven of Pentacles things come up, when these, like, you feel like you're in a hurry, or if other people are rushing you, like, because it does feel external, like whenever there's some kind of situation externally that you know you have no control over, or it's somebody else trying to have some kind of control over you, you want to fall back into that Princess of Cups energy, to where it's like, there's some naivety, how do you say it? It's just naive. Like, there's some naive energy, but I feel like you're knowingly doing this. Like, you're playing dumb almost. Like, because it's like you're going to see what they're going to say. You're going to see what they're going to do. It's not so much that you're, like, testing them. I mean, it is a test, but it's like, you're just, it has a lot to do with just boundaries. Like, it's like when you meet somebody for the first time, and sometimes, and you know when people are doing this, they test you. They say certain things and they look at you a certain way to see what you're going to say or how you're going to react. I feel like that's the kind of energy Spirit wants you to be in, but not in a very, like, not in a manipulative way, not in like a not like you're against them per se, you know. It's very, you know, it's such Gemini energy. It's very tactful. It's very like, you know, you guys play your cards right. You know, you guys, you like to see what other people are going to do before you make your move. You already know what your move's going to be. You already have, you're 2 steps ahead. Like Geminis are always 2 steps ahead. Gemini, Sagittarius, that axis of energy, you guys are always 2, 3, 4, sometimes 10 steps ahead of people. And so this is just like, for example, let's say like you're gonna, I don't know, you're gonna go quit your job and do something else, and you've already done it, right? And then let's say you meet up with somebody and you tell them, I'm thinking about doing this, even though you already did it. And you're saying, I'm thinking about doing it just to see what they're gonna say, kind of thing. And so maybe this testing energy that I'm getting, like you have to do this because it's like first date, like you have to see what they're gonna say because you need to know where they stand. And so apply that how it resonates into what you think, where you should apply that for. Okay, so that's basically what I'm getting. So we're going to go ahead now and we're going to wrap up this reading. I'm going to pull an oracle card for you from the Urban Crow Oracle, and I will put it up on the screen so you guys can see it with the book's description. I suggest that you screenshot it and keep it with you for the end of the year and come back to it and read it and all that good stuff. This oracle card basically is going to tie up everything I just said and simplify it. And it's usually just so on point with everything I've said in the reading. So if you happen to watch Aries or the Taurus video, you'll see how like sometimes the words I said in the reading show up in the book's description. So, you know, it's just great. It's wonderful. It's a good time. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle and then we'll see what we get. Okay, so the oracle card we got for you guys is number 7, Catching. In the book, it says, one day while feeding my neighborhood crows, I noticed one of them using their beak to push around some decaying leaves and then dig a hole. The bird looked around, checking to make sure it wasn't being watched, and then swiftly opened its mouth and dropped in the food. It was saving the dog kibble I had given it for later. The crow didn't want to eat the food right away, but it also didn't want to leave it around for some other creature to enjoy. You may find yourself either keeping an idea or possession hidden till the time is right, or simply unwilling to let go of something you aren't using out of fear that someone else may benefit from your release or surrendering. Sometimes the moment is not right to move forward. However, it doesn't mean that the time will never arrive. You may be working on a project that holds a great deal of promise, but you are unable to devote the energy at the moment. Setting the idea aside does not mean giving it up. It just means that you recognize there will be value in waiting. Catching may also indicate that you will benefit from investing. This may be investing in yourself or investing in a financial institution. So that's freaking wonderful. Again, like some of these words I said, what did I say? Time, investment, keeping something hidden, you know, like the example I gave with the advice from spirit guides. And this has a lot to do with like holding on to something and waiting for the right time, which is also kind of like the 7 of Pentacles. It's all about timing. Okay, so if anything, if you were to take one thing away from this reading, is that timing, time management, and trusting that you have the time, and then just doing things when it's time. Okay, so I think that wraps up the reading. And before we go, I have a channeled song for you guys. So if you're into channeled songs, check out the song, go listen to it. And the song I got for you is Raging Fire, Behold. I put a link for it in the description so you can go listen and check it out. And come to think of it, that song kind of is about timing in the right time. It's all about knowing that everything's going to work out And in the hook or the chorus of the song, he says, behold, like 3-4 times. And then he says, behold, I live forevermore. And the song's all about, at least how I'm perceiving it, it's all about just trusting in the divine, trusting that he has a seat waiting for him. Okay, so that's basically the gist of it. And if you haven't yet already, please hit the subscribe button, tap the notifications bell, and like this video. By liking this video, you help to push it into the YouTube algorithm for other people to find. Follow my profile on Instagram at Spotless Mind Tarot. Replace the I in mind with the number 1. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, my readings are available on my Etsy shop, kaleidoscopeescape.etsy.com. Also, do me a huge favor and leave a comment below in this video. Let me know this reading resonates with you, and it also helps to let me know that you're watching. Thank you so much for watching. I am very grateful for your presence, and I will catch you in the next video.